Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Retro Wednesday. And I am very much looking forward to this playthrough of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. In case you're not aware, my name is Charlie. We have a Twitch channel called The Book of Gaming. You can find us at twitch.tv/book_of_gaming. And we're a Christian stream. We have a Bible study at the beginning, and then we play a video game afterward. Lately, we've been doing speed runs of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. We are currently in second place. We did hold the world record from April 2025 to November 2025. So I don't know where I stand at this moment, at this recording anyway. It's March 1st, so who knows where I am right now, if I'm still grinding or if I've achieved my goals. We'll see. But Retro Wednesday is a chance to do a playthrough of a game that I adore, that I love, on the Nintendo NES or the Super Nintendo SNES. And everything is on original hardware, and it's being processed through a RetroTink 2X that was donated by a wonderful community member. So I hope this looks good for everybody watching it. I hope you have a good time. I have so much to say about this game, and I also have to concentrate on the boxing matches. So what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit in between matches, just like I did now. So with that being said, let's go. Old Glass Joe. The easiest boxer in the game. It's basically a tutorial on what the buttons do. He doesn't fight back much. Now there is a way to knock him out in one punch. I know how to do it. Let's see. Let's see if that took. I know speedrunners know how to do it, but I obviously don't know. It's okay. Shouldn't be too tough from here. Oh, I got hit by Glass Joe. Oh dear. I don't know if I'll ever be able to show my face in society again. There we go. My goodness. Such a rough start. Glass Joe hit me. Game. Got hit again. Oh dear. I always love that animation. I don't know why he does that. But anytime my brother and I saw that, we would say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. There we go. So, where do I start with this game? Well, first of all, let's our next opponent, Von Kaiser. So I actually made a list of things that I wanted to talk about because I did not want to forget certain things. And first of all, I want to bring up how these graphics blew my mind away. This game came out, when did it come out? 87, I think. And which would make me 7 years old. And at the time, my aunt rented a Nintendo Entertainment System from our local video store. I believe it was Westfield Video. And these were the newest graphics. Before that, we had Atari with the simplistic sounds that Atari gives and, the little line animations, right? So seeing these big gargantuan boxers doing what they're doing, it blew my mind away. It blew my mind away so much. This game, if I had to make a list on the games that made me love video games, this would be, I believe, up there in top 10. With that being said, let's go to the next fight. This shouldn't be too hard. Again, I'm playing this the same way I always play this game whenever I return to it. Some I know really well, some I don't. So we'll see what happens. This game's soundtrack is amazing. I didn't know we had this thing. Did I know that? I usually hit him with a star punch. I didn't know he had a left and right stun lock. We take those. Normally you do a star punch and he goes, "Ah," and then you knock him out. Man, that's really cool. Ooh, the title bout. Let's go. Gonna be a minor circuit champion in a matter of seconds. So one of my favorite memories about this game, my mom asked me one day, years later after renting the Nintendo, we owned a Nintendo for a few years, and she asked me, "Charlie, have you ever heard of a game called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?" And I told her, "Yeah, I have. I love that game." And she asked me, "Would you like me to buy it for you?" And as a, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, whatever age I was, of course I said yes. And she took me to our local Toys R Us. I believe it was Toys R Us. Maybe it was KB Toy Store, but I do believe it was Toys R Us. And just bought it right there, and I brought it home and I started playing it. And knowing now what I know, there's a chance that it might have been on sale and she saw it and maybe she heard me talk about it. Whether it was or not, that's a really special memory for me that my mom asked me one day out of the blue, "Have you ever heard of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Would you like me to buy it for you?" I still remember that to this day. I love my mom. This guy was really hard. Now I'm going to talk more about things after this match. I love that animation of him. Oh, here we go. Can I get this? I didn't. I usually get it. I must have been nervous. Hey, that works. There we go. All right. So obviously when this game came out, we had limited technology, right? The internet was not really a thing. I'm pretty sure like some companies had internets. I remember internet. I remember watching a movie called Jumping Jack Flash, and in that movie there's indication that the internet has been around for a while, but maybe it was an expensive venture. I don't know. But anyhow, so no internet like we have it today on our cell phones. No cell phones, really. The rich people had cell phones. So this game was very much the talk of the playground, the talk at cafeteria conversations with my friends, and we talk about the boxers because you had to learn on the fly. Obviously, whenever you play a game for the first time, it's the hardest you've ever done it. And anytime you got to the next boxer, it was an exciting time, but you didn't really have time to practice it. You didn't have time to practice at the boxer you're about to fight at all. You either were good when you were fighting him, or you got knocked out, or you either had a rematch, and hopefully you remembered the patterns of the boxer. But it was very much, you had to see the game a lot back when I was a kid. This scene right here blew my mind away. It's crazy. I'm looking at my capture, how much shrunken down the picture is. This cutscene blew my mind away. All right, Don Flamenco. Let's go. Let's go ahead and fight him, and I'll continue on with all my love for this game in between rounds. And by the way, I haven't said it yet, but make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I would appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. Yeah, this is the most optimal way to beat him as a casual player. Excuse me. The most optimal way to beat him as a casual player. I remember discovering that as a kid because I like to do the left-right attacks anyway. I was like, what's going on? He might have been knocked out, actually. Good heavens. It's great. I love it. Oh, something I didn't mention, and maybe I should have mentioned it before. I recently found out, by recently, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, that the music for this game that you heard at the beginning, I think it would have been more appropriate to hear it at the beginning. That's why I let the music rock before I started saying anything. Was actually from an old commercial. I don't like to edit these videos where I interject a video or I interject, funny little scenes or words, because I want to keep these things as pure as possible for you to only see gameplay. But I might consider putting the video maybe even right here.
Every time you shave to feel sharp and beyond the ball, just be sharp. Use Gillette Blue Blade for the quickest, slickest shaves of all.
And whether or not I put the video on, I guess we'll find out later. But if I did put the video, I guess I'll edit this part out, or maybe I'll keep it in just for funsies. But yeah, the beginning music was from that old commercial. This guy was a hard stop. What seemed like forever, right? My brother and I could not figure out how to beat him. And then one day, if I'm not mistaken, it was me. I could be, misremembering this, that I hit his mouth. And I was like, oh, that's what you got to do? And that's how this game taught you the mechanics. Something's not, everything that you know about the game is not working on this character. You need to figure something else out. So this is like one of my favorite video game characters of all time. He was on a cartoon called Captain N, the Game Master. That was a really fun time. So go ahead and you can knock this guy out too. Dodge these. There we go. Not a bad pattern. If you were a speedrunner, that'd be a pretty great pattern. He doesn't get up at all. So you might look at that and say, well, that looked very simple. At the time when video games were in their infancy, that took some figuring out, because you normally dodge and hit, but it was not working. It was not working at all. All right, Great Tiger. From Bombay, India. If you can't tell, his little gemerald is glowing, and that's why I'm trying to hit him. Here we go. Let's unlock here. As you can tell, you get star punches whenever you hit the boxer in certain times, and that leads to your super punch. Get 2 more there. There we go. You're gonna do his super move. Yep, there it is. His block. You don't need to hit him with a super punch to knock him out. Just a regular punch would have knocked him out, but that took some figuring out too. For me, anyway. When I was a little itty bitty 7, 8, 9-year-old. Now, this game, when it came out, Mike Tyson was bigger than life. There was a time, I know I mentioned before, a lot of people might not understand, but there was a time before the internet. And when there was no internet, no Twitter, no Facebook, nothing where celebrities could post their opinions about politics or whatnot, and we see them as people with opinions, celebrities were looked at as like bigger than life people. And for example, when Jim Carrey would come out with a new movie, it was a big deal. It didn't matter if it was a comedy or a drama. Because Jim Carrey made a new movie, it was a big deal because nobody knew anything about Jim Carrey, his likes, his dislikes. He was a celebrity. He was a star. But now with this modern age, at least when, the time of this recording, 2026, we see celebrities posting opinions. We either like or dislike, agree or disagree with their opinions, and judge them or look at them as people instead of somebody bigger than life. So Mike Tyson, everybody knew who he was. Like, everybody knew who he was. Especially little kids. And I think before Chuck Norris jokes became a thing, legends of Mike Tyson would be out there about how strong he is and what he actually did in real life and whatnot. Little kids just making up stories, right? So when this game came out, it was a humongous deal to see Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's what got me invested as a kid to want to play this game. Maybe this is a fact maybe it's not. When Nintendo were making this game, they were just going to, be Punch-Out like the one from the arcade. They did the best they could with the graphics, right? In the arcade, the character Little Joe, quote unquote Little Joe, was see-through, so you could see the boxer, but they couldn't do that in this version, so they made him really little so you could see the big boxer. And at a boxing match, one of the creators of this game saw a young up-and-coming boxer named Mike Tyson. He was very impressed with him. He was not a celebrity, he was not big at the time, but he was so impressed with him, he offered him a contract to put his name on the game they're coming out with, Punch-Out, and call it Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And because he was an up-and-comer, I think they got the contract done for $10,000, which is and back in the 1980s, that was a ton of money, by the way. Even as much as that was, compared to what it could have been, was unbelievable. They got away with a steal because by the time the game came out, obviously, he was a world heavyweight champion. So it was a really good, fortunate thing for Nintendo to have stumbled upon. Ball Bull. Something was found out about this character not too long ago. So after 30 years of this game's existence, somebody found out that when he does his bull charge, when you see the cameraman in the back take a picture in the audience, that's when you press the punch button to stop his bull charge. Now, as a kid, I just figured it out on my own. But it's funny, after 30 plus years of this game's existence, that was found out. It's pretty crazy. Oh dear. Oops. Now I am playing on an older TV. It's a 2006 LCD TV. So it's very much on the same, I don't know, expectation of a CRT TV. It is very difficult to play this game on an HD TV because of the HD delay. The response times have to be very fast. When you see them punch and you go to dodge and counter punch, oh, you have to react quickly. And with HD delay, that's a no. All right, let's see. I didn't get it. Maybe I should have looked at the cameraman. Maybe I can beat him before the next round. I looked at the cameraman. I looked at the cameraman. Well, I saw him in my peripheral vision. I'm like, got it. There we go. There we go.